I'm a second year mature student. I'm studying business information systems. I like the course. It's a good mix of business subjects and technical subjects. So we learn things like coding, math, statistics, things like that, as well as the traditional business subjects like accounting, economics, things like that. So it's a good mix. That's why I was interested in the course in the first place, because you can kind of go so many routes with it. You can either go into the more technical roles or you can go into business. So I think there was a lot of scope there. To me, International Women's Day, it celebrates the social and the cultural impact of women around the world. And it puts the spotlight on the women who've gone before us, the possibilities for the women who come after us. And because of the prevalence in the media, you hear all these amazing stories of women around the world. Women CEOs, women who do amazing things, but you also hear the plights of women. So, you hear stories of women maybe in direct provision, or women, who still are disproportionately affected by economic hardships and poverty. And because it's so prevalent in the media these days, you get to hear all these stories. And I think that's really important. It gives these women a voice no matter what they're doing, whether they're excelling or whether they're not. So I think it's a really important thing that women have. I find this quite hard to answer. I see inspiring women every day. For example, within MTU, the lecturers in my own department, some incredibly intelligent women, all succeeding in academia, all doing their best, all holding their own. Even, women such as the Mature Students Officer and the Societies Officer, women who are leading their departments and are just, caring and kind and doing the very best they can to make lives better for people within MTU. And even the Students' Union President, Aisling O'Mahony, like, I'm a class rep, and I went into my first class rep meeting, and I'd never met the woman before, and there was no doubt in my mind who was leading. She just has this power. But then somebody started talking, and she goes from being this leader to being a listener, and then she goes away, and then she becomes a doer. So I mean, there's just so many women day-to-day life that are inspiring without having to look wider at the world. Like Michelle Obama and things like that would be kind of the standard answers. But I just felt that it's important to highlight the women around me and how they inspire me every day. The challenges for me are basically based around being a mature student. I have 2 children, and I finished work 14 years ago. So I went from being a stay-at-home mom to being a student. And, I was so worried, having been out of education for so long and being out of the workplace for so long, would I be able to keep up? Would I be able for any technical subjects such as maths, programming, things like that? And realistically, I wish I'd never worried. I wish I hadn't wasted the time on it. Because once I got in the door, I realized that everybody is in the same boat. This course was new to everybody, whether they just came from the Leaving Cert or whether they had been in the workplace, whether they'd been at home. And any help that I do need is right there in MTU. There's, grinds are available. There's so much help available for people if you're struggling with anything. So going forward, it's about juggling home life and studying. Like, with COVID, the schools are closed. I've got 2 children. I'm homeschooling them as well as doing my own work. And it is very much a challenge. But we'll keep going and we'll get there. I'm the chairperson of the Mature Student Society. So I actually resurrected the society when I was in first year. There was no one to take it over the past couple of years, so there was nothing available for mature students. And I just felt that it's such a different experience being a student, older than everyone, older than the Leaving Cert students. And it's a very different experience having children. There are different challenges for mature students. And I just felt that it would be nice to have somewhere where we could kind of get together, have a chat about it, make some new friends, so that's what I did. And, you know, it was all great when we were on campus. It was much easier to run. But now when we're all online, trying to reach out to people and to kind of make sure that no one is feeling isolated, and to kind of we end up kind of keeping each other going, really. We've got virtual study groups, things like that, and that they're really helpful. Another project that I'm really enjoying working on is the MTU Innovation Challenge. So I'm working with a group of engineering students, and we're designing a solution for the Irish Navy to reduce condensation and humidity in the fleet of ships surrounding one of their guns. So we're working with Lieutenant Commander Clodagh McConnell. She's a chartered engineer, and she is just phenomenal. And the experience that's been given us is just terrific. I've learned so much from the other engineering students, and it's really good to get a good feel for a team. So I'm really enjoying that. That's coming to an end soon, so looking forward to seeing how that plays out.